welcome to this week, to this weekend, to this harvest season. How's everybody doing? Welcome in, good morning. Thank you for being up this morning. Thank you for being a part of this walk and talk. Thank you for taking a moment to join me. As always, let's wake up with blessings and love, determination, destiny, dreams. Let's go. Let's do this. It's discipline time this morning, people. Happy, what do you call the day after Thanksgiving? I mean, if the day before is like Thanksgiving Eve, what do you call the day after Thanksgiving? Trash day? Is that how they came up? Is that how they came up with like Black Friday? They were like, we need to do something after Thanksgiving. Welcome, good morning. Good morning. What's up? How you doing? A financial expert is always a disciplined person. It's a bold statement. I need you to back that up some. I think a lot of people can be successful and good at things, and in some areas even determined to be great and not necessarily be disciplined. That's a good one. That's a good one. I guess when we look at discipline in terms of degrees, in terms of having levels, I guess that'll stand true. Yeah. There's levels of discipline, the same way there are pillars, like there are different aspects of discipline. Discipline is not just consistency, because consistency has to be graded, and consistency has to be going somewhere. A lot of people are repetitious, and they confuse that for discipline. So that should stand true. Has to be distributed. It is cold. Listen, what's the temperature? Usually I'll come out here and be like, hey guys, it's 28 degrees this morning. It's 30 something degrees, or it feels good. It's 28 degrees this morning, but you can see this wind blowing. With this wind, I'm gonna say it's in the high teens. It's cold. Man, it's cold this morning, but I'm out here getting this walk. How you guys doing? Thank you guys for being here with me in this cold. Good morning. My harvest this year was getting a good government job. Eternally grateful to God. All right. Welcome in, Oklahoma. How you doing? Oh, ice cold. Ice cold. Listen. I'm so cold. It made me country. Eyes are cold. Eyes are... Yay! Sheesh! Thank you for being here, guys. Welcome in this morning. We are talking about harvest, people. I'm trying to figure out if the day before Thanksgiving is called Thanksgiving Eve, and the day before Christmas is called Christmas Eve. What is the day after called? So you have the celebration day. What is that day after called? Oh my goodness, this wind is hawk this morning, people. I guess they didn't have anything to call it, so they just start calling it Black Friday. Black Friday. I was like, man, I might as well buy something. Welcome in. I live in Maryland, people. Tell you what, I feel like I should move south in Maryland. Like, I'm in northern part of Maryland. Maybe I should find a southern part of Maryland. Is it this cold in Prince George's County? Man. And we need to move a little bit more east and south. Welcome. Welcome in, people. Thank you for being here this morning. No, I know, like, the day of celebration, like New Year's is called New Year's. Thanksgiving is called Thanksgiving. I know Christmas is called Christmas, but what's the day following it? You know, you had your Thanksgiving, so is it happy post Thanksgiving? Is it, what is the day called? Welcome, thank you. Oh, I heard Oklahoma, y'all flat. Y'all like a natural ice skating rink. It's just flat for miles. Oh, and I ain't got nothing to stop the wind. Only thing y'all got to stop the wind is your face. That's cold out there. Oh my goodness. Thank you for being here this morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a pleasant Thanksgiving. Enjoyed themselves with their family. Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much. Thanks, what's it called? Thanks receiving. Thanks receiving. God bless you this morning as well. People, today I want to have a conversation about the harvest. Harvest season. That's what we're in. That's what Thanksgiving is known as in many countries, not just here in the United States, not just here for what do they call it now? Indigenous People Day, or is Indigenous People Day like a week ago? I don't know. But it's not just about celebration and consumerism, people. It's harvest. And that harvest and the celebration at harvest time is because it takes work to get there. Like, this started way back in the spring, right? It actually started in the winter. And so you get to this end part of the year and you're like, okay, we made it, you know, we've went out, we've tilled the soil, we've made it through, we've been disciplined. We went out and we just had to throw seeds, right? Y'all ever seen that Jamaican dance called the pepper seed, where they just kind of swing their arms? We had to till the earth. We had to sow the seeds. We had to tend the cattle. We had to care for the season. We had to build barns. We had to repair. So many things happened. And during that time, we're watching our crops grow. We're watching our investments take root and start to grow. And as they start to grow over time, we start to see that we are moving towards profit. And so some of that we have to reinvest. Some of that we have to trade. We have to trade milk to get grain to feed the livestock. We have to trade livestock to get tools and woods to mend the house. We have to eat. We have to store up. We have to start that process because we understand that when it gets cold, when this winter settles in, we're not going to be able to produce at the same rate. We're not going to be able to achieve these same things. And so we spend that year, we spend the spring, the summer, and the fall getting as much done as we possibly can because it's gonna get cold. It's cold. That cold's gonna come, and we're not gonna be able to do these things at the same level. We're not gonna be able to achieve at the same high return as we are currently. And so as we go through that process, as we go through these seasons, as we learn and we grow, we understand that it takes discipline to do this work. We have to be patient because this corn ain't coming up out this ground tomorrow. We have to understand that this corn, when it does come up, there's still work to be done to it because some of it will be eaten as corn, some of it will be turned into meal, some of it will be ground, and we have to do different things. And even then, we still have to care for it. So there's a lot that goes into that process. And so now we are at this point, and this is what we do at Thanksgiving, is we celebrate because we've been through those long days. We've survived the rains, the downpours, the crops that didn't survive, the livestock that didn't make it, the losses, we've survived the difficult times, the harsh elements that may have come during that time. We survived the moments when there were no rain. We survived the moments when there were too much rain. We continue to grow and persevere. And so as we go through that, we continue to do that and continue to expand and develop. That process teaches us that what we have to do is to persevere. We've been repetitious, we've been patient. We showed up with consistency, we hit the fields. And now that perseverance has led to this harvest. And it's harvest time. And for years, this has been a celebration for everyone to come together and appreciate, enjoy, and celebrate the harvest, to give to one another in true celebration and appreciation of what they've been able to achieve, what they've gotten done. And it's been this way for many years in many places, not just here in the United States. So why now, after you've done all that hard work, after you've spent this year getting your finances in order, that New Year's resolution you made to eat healthier, why now, after all that time you spent building your wealth and your legacy, paying off credit cards, why now, after you've spent all that time discussing and believing that true value and growth is based on time and experience, it's based on memories over merchandise, why now, on this Thanksgiving day after, why would you take your harvest out into the field and set it on fire? Why would you run into someone else's barn, into someone else's storehouse, and throw all you've worked so hard for into theirs, mixed into theirs, all you've invested in, all you've just celebrated, and throw it away? Why have we gone from celebrating to consuming? Because the whole purpose of the harvest day is to commune together, to share, to celebrate. And now it's been turned into consuming. Even Christmas was not about giving blindly. It was about giving to the community. wasn't about giving gifts. It was about giving things that were needed. The myth of St. Nicholas started from a place of a monk who would slide gold coins into the stockings of poor children to help their family care for themselves. Or as they said, poor maidens. Now, I'm pretty sure if you find a minister today sliding gold coins into some kid's stockings, we're gonna see that on the news. Saint Nick. No, you don't understand. I was trying to help. They got Saint Nicholas up off his feet. Your hands behind your back. But here's what I'm saying, guys. Here's what I'm sharing. What I'm saying this morning is we've gone through the harvest. We've gone through the season. We've planted. We've nurtured. We've grown. We've gone through the season. And here we are the day after. And all of these stores are opening early this morning. Some of them opened early yesterday. And they said, don't wait. Don't wait. Give it back. Give it to us. You don't know what to do with it. You ain't gonna do nothing good with it. It's useless in your hands. Your money serves no purpose in your pockets. You're right. Your money ain't doing nothing in your pockets. Give it to us. You don't know what else to do with it. Let us have it. Consume. Come. Sit down. Buy TVs. Please buy these TVs. These aren't even gifts anymore. We just buying TVs because we want TVs, man. You know they got a new 110-inch Sony television. They'll bring it to your house. Do you know they gotta calibrate it? They gotta send somebody special to touch it with a pen so it'll work right. Comment here says, we do nothing as far as presence in this house. We spend time with friends and loved ones. Have zero interest in corporate greed. That's a very, I'm trying to figure out the way to put this. It's a very structured statement. Mr. Mulatto, what's going on? Good morning, good to see you. Welcome in, brother. Zero interest in corporate greed. So that means, I'm gonna ask you a question. Nicole QCD, QC5DH. The question is, I don't know if you're still there, buying my kids gifts. Didn't your parents buy you gifts? The question is, what are you doing with your money instead? Tell me what you're doing with your money versus, because you don't have any interest in corporate greed. Tell me what you're doing with it. Just decide to change your life, not that you want to be cheap. Talk to me, Mr. Carter. What's the problem? I mean, tell me what the issue is with focusing more on memories than merchandise. Tell me what the concern is with focusing more on memories than on merchandise. Bruce, man, it's too cold, Bruce. Hey, Bruce, what's up this morning, man? How you doing? 51 degrees, man. It's 12 degrees here with the wind chill, dude. That's that Texas thing I'm talking about. You better not have no hoodie on. As cold as it is up here. Third story, west facing. I don't care. It's day after Thanksgiving. I'm going to work. They ain't He said, I'm going to get that money. He said, they ain't even asked me to go. He said, I got cake making. I hear you. Good morning. Technology has come so far. All right, Nicole bounced, so she didn't have anything else to share. Mr. Carter, those are the memories. When they open those gifts, See those smiles and all the noise on Christmas Day. That's what I live for. I know we've been taught. Oh, there's Nicole. She's good. God wants us to watch out for each other. Okay. Nicole said, laugh out loud, it's just Nicole. I'm surviving with the money I have. Bills, food, a couple of pets, and what we could afford. I don't have kids though, so easy concept for me. So I'm gonna say reverse the concept. Also, I'm gonna say, Mr. Carter, I wanna say to Nicole, here's what I wanna share with you guys real quick. And by the way, Bruce, thank you for that gift this morning, man, thank you. Here's the thing, the memories are more than the merchandise. We've been indoctrinated. We've been taught to believe that the squeals and the screams and the laughter over opening the boxes are the things that make the memories. That's the joy, right? But the merchandise goes away, right? The merchandise goes away. What has to happen, people, and what we have to be careful of, and the thing we have to be mindful of is, in the process of doing that, we're taking a hefty chunk of our harvest. And oftentimes we're taking harvest that we don't have yet. We're banking on next year's harvest because we're using credit cards to make the purchases versus using cash. Oftentimes we don't have it. Like Nicole was saying, I'm focusing on paying my bills. The purpose of money is to make more money, right? And we say, well, I'm just surviving, where the purpose of life is not to survive, it's to live. We should be living. And if we're living in it, and the thing we have to understand, the way Bruce just explained, was we exchange for most of our life, we exchange our time for money. When do we start exchanging our money for time, right? And remember, we all say money can't buy you happiness. We agree that money can't buy you happiness, but then we go out and we repeatedly take on behaviors and actions in an attempt to acquire happiness through the expenditure of funds. I want to buy myself into happiness. I want to buy things, not time. We're not spending our money to get our time back. We're spending our money to buy things because, oh, well, I got to pay bills, right? Cash is digital. Okay. Don't be teasing me and two dogs. Probably two ankle biters. Leave her alone. You know Nicole got two little dogs. Dogs is happy. But what are we doing? What are we doing? So when we talk about it, when we talk about how we want to achieve, how we want to grow, how we want to establish ourselves in the now and in the future, are we just being consumers? Are we teaching our children to be consumers? Are we teaching them that the happiness comes from the things that we get versus the moments that we spend and the times that we share? Because like you just said, the gift, the reward for you in this process are those memories, right? The reward for you, Mr. Carter, are the memories that you develop from watching that happen. But we can build that in any way. I don't have to work, won't get paid for it. I'm going because I'm fucking best. He said, I'm going because it's what I do. I had a walk and talk about that a couple of weeks ago, Bruce. I explained in that walk and talk that we don't work because we get paid. Humans don't work because they get paid. Working is what we do naturally. A job is what we get paid for. But even people who retire, many of them have to find something to do because sitting still, productivity is the nature of human. Once we learn that being productive is our nature, then it's not a problem for us to get up and go out and work. But what we have a tendency to do is confuse working with being paid. That's a job. And when we make that confusion, then we don't work on ourselves because we say, there's no compensation for working on me. I'm not getting a paycheck for taking the time to take care of me. Right? And so here's what I want to share with you, Mr. Carter. One of the things I want to share to you is this. So my wife and I for years have spent time working diligently hard throughout the year. And we would it was literally a plan where we would say, okay, this is how much money we want to spend on Christmas. Here are the credit cards that we have that we're going to set aside for Christmas. Here's the stuff that here are the things that we want to focus on to get there. Here's where we want to put our other money. And we were doing investments, and we would try to, we were taking care of things, but things were growing slowly, right? We had the credit card set aside. We would pick up things through the year. We would say, okay, this is who we're going to get. This is what we're going to get for this child. And we found that we were spending thousands of dollars a year on gifts. And then we would use credit cards, and then we would spend the year paying those off, some of them faster than others, paying off interest, and we're seeing other people's pockets and wealth grow through this process. And then my wife came to me and she was like, I'm not buying another toy. I'm like, listen, don't you be yelling at me. I was the same way you were, Mr. Carter. I'm like, excuse me, I'm like, it's Christmas. These are our children. Like, why would we not, like, they're good? Like, why would we not get them things? Why would we not treat them? Why would we not care for them? And my wife's thing was, first and foremost, she was like, they destroy them. She was like, I've watched too many things that we've purchased not make it to the new year. And she just started running down the list of things that she had seen that had been purchased that didn't make it to the new year. And she wanted to change that for us. Bruce, 12 degrees, and hosted us. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Bruce. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you very much for that contribution. It's always a pleasure to have you here, man. The thing that my wife shared with me, and that I wanted to make sure that I was grasping and sharing, is that she shared that the children, many of the times we buy them things that are they're just things. A lot of them don't make it past the point of being captured and consumed. Everybody knows if you if the child is less than 3 years old, you could have just bought them boxes. You could literally gift wrap cardboard boxes with paper inside, and a 2-year-old would have been like, this is my life. They were like, we do this every year? Like, you could have shred paper, and a 2-year-old would have been happy with it. And so what is that telling us? My wife started to kind of share with me, and we started to come to an understanding that, yeah, we're putting money into these places, and the children don't remember many of the gifts, but like you said, Mr. Carter, they remember those times. They remember the amount of fun that happened falling in and out of boxes, right? They remember those things. And I'm not saying you don't get people anything. I'm not saying that you can't provide for them. I'm not saying that it's not okay for you to give them gifts and to reward them. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is the memories are what matters. And so this year we changed. And this is the first year that we're spending our money on spending time with our children. Now, it's a radical concept to our children because you have to understand our oldest child is 16. He's got memories of Christmas. He's like, look, like, I want Christmas to happen. I remember, it's like I got an electric bike on Christmas. I got a tablet on Christmas. We got gaming consoles on Christmas. We got money. It was like, material things happened on Christmas. And we're like, yeah, we get it. We're not saying we're not going to give you gifts. But what are we truly doing with this harvest that we spent a year working on? Right? What are we really looking forward to doing? How are we really looking to establish ourselves moving forward? So my wife and I did the math. For you guys who've been here for a while, you already know that my wife and I, we have 7 children, right? And our 7 children, ages range from 16 to 3. And so we're like, okay, so how do we take care of our children? How do we provide for them? How do we give them the things we want them to have and make sure they feel good? So the thought process was, okay, the younger children don't need as much money spent on them as the older children. So we'll pick one gift for the older children, one big gift, and then we'll work our way down. We'll budget it out. We'll figure out what to do. When my wife, we're going through the year, most of our children's birthdays are in June. We went through June. So we have birthdays June 4th, June 5th, June 9th, June 22nd, right? So 4 of our 7 children were born in June. And we're going through that process, and it's like, we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot. And we watched as we went through June, and we got these gifts. And then for many of the children, it was like, where's the birthday gift you guys? They don't know. Man, we got boxes full of naked Barbie dolls and broken toys. We got just toy bins full of it. And so the thing is, well, where's the memory? Maybe the day of, maybe the week of, they'll be invested in that thing. Where's the memory? Where's the true value, which is that memory? And so this year we need to change that. And so this year we decided, I got to give you the math first. So with 7 children, if we average $200 a child for Christmas, that's $1,400, right? Our youngest son, has zero concept of frugality. Our youngest son is like, see that thing, want that? Like, yeah, can I get another Oculus? Another. Can we get we got Xbox. Can we get a PlayStation? I want to play this on the PlayStation. Hey, can we build this gaming computer? Like, his thing is definitely gaming. Like, his thing is like, I like this keyboard, but I like this one too. So, okay. So if we spend $200 per child, we spend $1,400 on Christmas gifts. And so we said, let's make memories. Let's make a moment. Let's do that instead. Spend less on gifts during Christmas because we care for the children throughout the year. How do we turn this into more? And so we found out that for that same $1,400, we could get a week away for Christmas as a family and get away, spend a week enjoying each other, spending time with each other, celebrating and laughing and making memories. And so that's what we're doing this year, right? Because it's not about the gifts. Remember, we keep saying money can't buy you happiness. Okay, fine, I'll accept that. So what's the exchange? What are we looking for? 7 days. 7 days, shut in. Hey, let's do this. Let's play some games. Let's talk. Let's do some events together. And we're going away for Christmas. And we're going to spend time together as a family. And what happens is those things become traditions. Because like you said earlier, you make these memories. But some of my best memories were the summers when I would go spend time at my grandma's house with all my cousins. And spending that summer with my cousins and playing in the rain and getting whipped by switches. All y'all don't remember switches. You gotta have a couple of years on you to remember switches. So it's September actually. It's September's my birthday month. So September 26th. So all throughout the summer, throughout my childhood, my best memories are times just like, my family's from North Carolina, and so we would all go down to North Carolina. And I remember one of my best memories, one of my favorite memories. I don't know what my parents were doing, but I know what I was doing. We're down there, we're spending time. So, man, I gotta count my aunts and uncles. My mama's side of the family was big. Okay, so it's a bunch. My Uncle Melvin, my Uncle Aunt, my Aunt Judy, I had a bunch of aunts and uncles down there in the South. It was a bunch of us. And then they all had a bunch of kids. So I'm down there with all my cousins. And we down there at my grandma's house. And so in Greensboro, I remember this one summer, this specific, where we used to go out. And so, I don't know if y'all ever race sticks in the gutter, but we used to do that. And so we went out and we all grabbed like a little stick, and you gotta, when it rained, you gotta race the stick. And so it rained real heavy. Summertime, rained really, really heavy, then it stops. So it rained heavy, then it stopped. So we all went out to play. Rain came back. Now, my mother, her sisters, my grandma, they called us. They were like, y'all come in here out that rain. Some of the kids went in. I want to say a couple of the kids went in. Some of us didn't. Some of us act like we didn't hear. We kept racing sticks. Rain came back, we sweaty, we racing, we laughing. Unbeknownst to us, when we weren't listening, they went out and gathered switches. These are the little wispy pieces of a bush. Man, they went out and got these little wispy pieces of the bush, and then it's summertime, so you can peel that thin layer of bark off of it so it's moist. Man, y'all don't know what a switch is. Then you want to get fancy, you can braid it together. It's got a couple of leaves on the tip. So we stayed out there playing. The rain stopped. We kept playing. And finally, they were like, come eat. I was like, oh, man, come eat. Yeah, I'm going in for that. I'm definitely going to go in for the eat. I don't know, man. I might have been like behind my cousin Andre, my big brother Daggy, maybe when I might have been like the third or fourth person into the house. But this is an old Carolina house. And when you first walk in, you got the front room. So they got front rooms and they got living rooms, right? You got your front room, you got your living room, you got your sitting room. You can't go in none of them. I'm like, where do we go? Like this. Old country folk. They're like, so we come in the house, we get past the front room, we go into the living room area where everybody go. They done moved all the furniture. Listen, middle of the floor wide open. Straight through is the kitchen. So then there's a cut to go up the hallway. You don't notice it at first because you just heard come eat. Man, we go to walk in there. Man, my cousin Andre gets popped. Pow, we running. My brother Daggy get popped. Pow, we running. Now, listen, we wet. we sweaty, we wet. We got on shorts and tank tops. We come running in this house. Man, I don't know. I might have got hit twice before I noticed what was going on. My aunt, my mom, my grandma, my other aunt, they done got switches. They are on each side of the room, and they got a whip-ass tunnel headed to the... Wow. Look, man, we like, yeah. When I tell you to get in this house out there, ring, yeah. They was putting it on us. So listen, look, they whip us all the way, man. That's the longest living room I've ever been in my life. They whip us all the way into the kitchen. And then they say, sit down and eat. We in there sniffling and crying. And then we start looking at each other. Start picking fun. Why was you dancing? You know when you try not to get hit by the switch and you start hitting that moon? We started picking on each other. Man, to this day, we laugh about that, man. It was so funny. It was hilarious. It was a moment. You ain't had to spend no money on that. That did not cost my parents a penny. Listen, oh, it's so funny. It was great. The summer was amazing. I went out with my cousin John, man. We got on bikes. We rode bikes all night long. We rode all over the city. Man, curfew was later because you got to normally be in when the street lights come on. But when you get a little older, they just start saying, y'all be safe. It was like, ooh, I'm going to be safe. And so we lived up north, but the family was from the south. So when I got older, my family moved back down south. My little brother ain't want to be down there. This bama tried to ride a bike some 600 miles from Carolina to D.C. He's like, I'm going back. And like, you ain't going back on no dang on bike. Oh, man. Memories. That's what we invest in. It doesn't cost you money. It doesn't cost you anything. Why am I sharing these stories with you this morning? It's because we've gotten to harvest season. We've put in the work. We've done all of this work, and now we're sitting here, and we have this opportunity. And what we're going to do is we're going to go out in all these companies, and we're going to dump our money in. Harvest season is the end of the year. It's the celebration at the end of the year. Guess what corporations do? Earlier, someone mentioned they're not into corporate greed. Guess what corporations do? Their fiscal year, their year about their money, yeah, it starts at this time of year. When we're going into harvest, when we're saying, okay, I'm at the point of my year where I need to go into hibernation, to putting things away, to storing up, to being frugal, corporations say, this is the time I need to monetize everything about the human existence. You need to spend money on Thanksgiving. You need to spend money on Christmas. You need to spend money on New Year. You need to spend money because you have President's Day coming. Look at how many holidays you have between now and when the summer hits. Look at how many, not even necessary holidays, how many times to spend after we've took this time to sit back and nurture, to sit back and grow, to be disciplined, and to do the work. And now we're squandering our harvest. We have to continue to invest, people. We're no longer in a time where all of our investments have to be in the field. You don't want to appreciate, you say you don't appreciate corporate greed. Corporations are going to make money anyway. Corporations don't have to be greedy. They just have to be there. You're going to pay a corporation for something. You're going to pay them for gas. You're going to pay them for heat. You're going to pay them for your utilities. You're going to pay them for so many different things. And so you say, well, no, I have no desire to be any part of corporate greed. Okay, well, they become a part of the provision. Start to provide. Start your own company. Buy into somebody else's company. But understand that if we're sitting here and we're making this money and then we're throwing this money back out there, we're throwing it away. Oh, I can't wait. I'm getting this for Christmas. What you getting for Christmas? It's the memories. It's the moments that we build. It's this time. We have to understand that when it comes to investing money, now is the best time of year to be able to do it. because plenty of people are consumers, even the wealthy. Oh, I did good this year. I'm going to take my profits and I'm going to buy a car. I'm going to buy a house, or we're going to do this. That's great. Grow that money. The reward should be putting that money to work so that that money can pay for your life. You'll always work. We'll always work, because work is being alive. Work is living. Working on you, working on your house, working on your relationships. That's all work. It may not necessarily be considered a job, but it's all work. Are we getting up and are we going to work? Or are we only working when someone else gives us money? Are we only working when someone else pays us for our time? We got to get up. We have to start to do the things that are going to create these opportunities and this truth for us. Yeah, the world changes. Okay, I get it. Kids today don't know what manual bikes are. They don't. They're all on electric bikes. Here's a question. Do you know how to shoe a horse? Do you know how to rebuild a carburetor? This was for you, Mr. Carter. Do you know how, Mr. Carter, do you know how to skin a deer? Prep a field for planting. The world changes. There'll always be spaces for those things. One of the things that I had to learn, it's one of the things that held me back for a long time, was the belief that things always needed to be the way they were. That the way I grew up and the things that happened to me had to happen to the people coming after me in order for them to appreciate the things that they have. And the thing that broke my brain on that was understanding that at some point there used to be slaves. And me telling my children and the kids after me that you need to experience what I experienced in order to appreciate what you are experiencing is like a slave telling you you need to spend 5 years as a slave so you can appreciate being free. You don't. We need to appreciate. We need to grow. We need to understand the value of things. 100% we need to. 100%. But the world's not going to stop moving just because we don't like it. Things aren't going to keep moving forward. And this is the point that I'm trying to make. The thing that has been consistent, those who have invested with discipline continue to grow. Do you know why there's more millionaires and more billionaires and more trillionaires? Do you know why there's more of those? Because there's more thousandaires. There's this belief that that people at the top don't want to see you grow. No, people at the top understand that the more money you spend, the bigger they get. They are not concerned with how much money you make. Because if you set it up right, and it has been set up right, the more people who make $100,000 a year, the more people who will spend $5,000 a year on their services. The more people who make $300,000 a year, the more people who will spend $15,000 a year on their services and their products. It's this understanding, it's this realization that these companies have, that these organizations have, that these families have and have had for years, that the whole purpose is to establish wealth. It's to build a legacy. It's to know that growth is going to happen. I don't need to suppress you. And I said this before as well. And I'm going to be doing a walk and talk about this in the future. And we're going to discuss this in detail on the membership tiers. You cannot grow yourself by attempting to push others down. Those are bad companies. They fail. I mean, by the handful, they fail. They fail so quickly because versus them thinking about ways or focusing on ways to make themselves better, to make themselves stronger, to build themselves higher, they're focused on how to prevent others from doing the same. There's this race, there's this video I saw of this kid who is in this race, and he's running. There's two different ones. One of them, the kid stops before the race is over and he still wins, which is cute. There's another one where this kid's running, and he's running and running and running and running and running, and he crosses what he believes to be the finish line, and he stops. Another kid keeps running, runs past him, actually wins the race. And the problem, they said, was they didn't clearly mark where the finish line was, which can be an issue. But the bottom line is you have to run the race. You have to know where you're going to. You can't look at a point and say, I want to get there before that person gets there. You have to look at the point and say, I want to get there. I need to get to that point. I have to put in the work to get to that point. That's how growth happens. That's what discipline does. That's how we make strides. That's how we improve. These are the things that are important, not only in our personal lives, but in our financial, in our faith, and in our walk. We have to understand that when we're looking at something, getting there first is not the objective. It's getting there. We can't think, you're not going to win a race if you're running around pulling other people's shirt to make sure they don't win the race. Then that's not your objective. You're not trying to win the race. You're trying to keep somebody else from winning. We have got to realize, people, that getting somewhere and achieving something is about getting somewhere and achieving something. And we do that by focusing on getting there and achieving it. This year, you don't have to go out and kick presents out of other people's hand and tell them don't go shopping for their children. That's not the focus. The focus is making sure that you're going to right places, doing the right things with your funds. Making sure you're making the right decisions and right choices for your future. It's been great this morning, guys. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for joining me on this walk and talk. I really appreciate it. It's cold. It's really cold. I'm moving slow because it's so cold. I want to thank you guys for coming in, being in the walk and talk, for sharing. Thank you, Mr. Carter. Thank you, Nicole, for being a part. Bruce, as always, thank you. I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you being a part. Let's understand that we're always working on building and developing our destiny and moving forward, people. We need to remember that this process requires discipline. Discipline has 4 pillars, and they're very simple. They're repetition, patience, consistency, and perseverance. And through those, we continue to grow. When you apply these to your finances, you understand that the repetition of doing something has to be established first. So it's not about I need to take $300 and move it out of my paycheck. No, you need to move $10 a day for 30 days so that you understand that it needs to happen continually. We can grow it, but first we need to understand, we need to establish the repetition of it being in the forefront of our mind on a daily basis. I had a conversation with my daughter about the laundry, and I said, why don't you do the laundry unless you're asked? And she's like, it's just kind of not like a thought. I'm like, that's true. And so I needed her to kind of walk through the process of it. And she's like, I know that it's there. I can see that it's there. And I know that it needs to be done. But it's like, it's not really an inconvenience. It's not. A lot of things in life don't become a thing until they become a thing, which is why we must approach them with intention. See, we wait until something motivates us, and everything that motivates us isn't something positive. We're often motivated by pain, anger. See, everybody thinks motivation means somebody coming in there going, you got this, you can do this, you got this. No, oftentimes motivation comes from when a doctor walks up to you and tells you, if you continue to eat like this, you're going to die. If you continue to live this way, you're going to die. And then we start taking action on that motivation because we now have attention to that thing. This is important, people, because there are aspects of your life that if they don't have a problem, I keep sharing, the worst thing that can happen is you can sit still. If you're going backwards, you're going to take note. I'm going backwards. I need to do something. At a minimum, I need to put my foot on the brake. But so many people believe they're safe because they're sitting still. Financially, you cannot sit still. You have to be growing. Emotionally, you cannot sit still. Mentally, we cannot sit still. Living is not about sitting still. It's about growing. It's about moving. In this harvest season, people, understand that we are taking strides. We're continuing to grow. We're continuing to move. We're continuing to become stronger and larger. I need for us to wake up. I need for us to be aware that what we want to do requires intention and attention. Welcome in, Mr. Taha. Family day yesterday indeed. Half a day in the markets, a 3-day vacation with the family. Enjoy that. No, it wasn't a ghost. It was a person walking a dog, but good eye. They moved like a ghost. They had a long coat on. Good morning, sir. You have a blessed day today. It was 6:32 in the morning. I'm headed into the house. Spend some time with the family before I head out. I want you guys to understand the thought process of being able to achieve anything in life will require discipline. It'll require an investment from us. It'll require that we do work, that we be committed to the goal. Thank you for checking in. I want you to understand that it's possible. You just have to be prepared to do what's required to do to get where you're going. It doesn't have to be a fight. It doesn't have to be pain. It doesn't have to be suffering. But it does require for it to be what it's necessary to be. Again, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. I want to appreciate the fact that you've took the time out of your morning to share with me, be on this walk and talk. I want to thank you. I want to invite you guys, please like, subscribe, share. If you haven't had the opportunity to do so, please do so now. I also want you guys to take a moment, take a look at the channel. Consider joining one of the membership tiers. Consider being a part of the growth as we take this discipline to another level and move it into productivity. As you head out into your day, guys, on this Friday, this chipper Friday up here in Maryland, I want you guys to remember, as always, keep showing up, keep blowing up, keep growing up. Until next time, guys, take care. God bless.